Hello guys, I hope you're all doing well. Today we are going to discover a very nice town which is situated not in Italy this time for once, but in the island of Mallorca. It is the main town, in fact, of the island. It is named Palma de Mallorca. Just to give you an idea of, I'm sure you all know where these islands are located, but just to give you an idea, we are here. I'm sure you know, the island, it is part of Spain, in fact. And so, yes, here we have the town of Palma. So just a small thing, if you see a small heart here in Santa Ponsa, that's because I lived there for a summer, so for some months, some years ago, quite a few years ago. I used to work where I worked there as a kids entertainer at an hotel, and it was amazing, really. You may know, by the way, some small towns here, Palma Nova, Magaluf, the same Santa Ponsa, which are pretty famous for summer holidays. But we would like to concentrate today on the town of Palma. One thing I wanted to say about the island, one quick thing, is that as you can clearly see, it is the biggest island of the whole Balearic Islands, and this explains also why we have the name Mallorca. The Romans used to call this island Insula Maiora, so the biggest really of all the islands. The name of Palma itself comes possibly from the Romans. The Romans arrived here in the year 123 BC, and they founded the town of Palma de Mallorca. Of Palma, it was named just Palma at the time, but there was possibly a previous settlement as well, so an oldest settlement as well. So the town was pretty important with the Romans. It had the main roads, Cardo and the Cumano, and also there was the Forum. There were I would say there were the major important buildings of the all the Roman cities, and it quickly became also an important trade center for the whole Mediterranean. Then there were other populations who settled here, also the Arabians. The Arabians also changed the name of the town to Medina Mallorca, and it is really interesting to see, and we will see that in fact the style, the Arabic style, of the Arabians, it still remained on some of the buildings, so in the style of some of the buildings, so this is quite exceptional. And then of course there was the Spanish family of the Aragona who named the town Palma de Mallorca, so we arrived to the actual name of the town. But let's start to see the town itself. So this is the actual town of Palma de Mallorca. You have this big road that goes all around. It's like a highway in a way. But then if you zoom in, you'll see that there is this other road which almost does a circle all around the town. And here, in fact, you have like the sort of historic center, I would say. Also, at one point in the past, the town was divided into two parts. There was the higher town and the lower town, so to say, and it was divided by this road here, Passeig del Born. Nowadays, you'll have a pedestrian side, this one, which is really nice. Also, the buildings side in the road are really nice, and then you'll have also the part where there is the road, so where cars can go effectively. But the interesting thing is that here there was a river, in fact, in the past, and so on the eastern side, so this side of the town was called the lower town, and then you'll have the higher part of town which was located here. And interestingly enough, we still have the Castell de Belvedera here, this area here. We will look at that later, which is situated, of course, on a higher part of the town, so that it was possible to better protect the town itself. So there are two main buildings in the center, which are also, I would say, the two of the most famous buildings of the actual historical parts of Palma de Mallorca, which are this palace here, Almudaina Palace, Palau Real de l'Almudaina, so the royal palace in a way, and then the cathedral. But let's go to see, thanks to street view, a little bit more so of the structure. And it's very interesting because here you can really understand the structure of these buildings as well, and also you can still see a part of the walls. So there were walls here were built in different period, maybe with the Romans already, then in the Renaissance. So the main the little part of walls that you can still see today nowadays, which is very little in fact, of the walls that are remaining till today, were built possibly in the Renaissance period, in the around the 15th, 16th century more or less. So here we can start with this royal palace, which has a interesting mix of styles. You have the Gothic styles, and you can understand that very well from these arcades here, from these arches here. But then you also have an Arabic style in a way, and we can see that a bit better on the other side. This building was was built so in Gothic style, and it is used nowadays as still by the king when he has a residence every time he visits the island, basically. Let's go on this staircase here, and here you can really see a bit more of the Arabic style in a way. So you can see there is basically almost no ceiling here. I mean, there is ceiling of course, but the style is very different. It's all flat really, which has really not much of Gothic style in this case, but that's a really nice palace indeed, nice building. And also not only the building itself, it has also super nice gardens. Let's have a quick look here. There you can see it pretty well. So not only green, but there are also some nice fountains here, so that's super interesting for sure. So let's go to see a little bit more the cathedral here. It is also named Cathedral de Santa Maria because it is dedicated to Maria, and here you have a super nice facade with the pretty amazing rose window. This one here, it is not only nicely decorated, but it is also one of the biggest in the whole world. Its diameter is of 12 meters, so it's really pretty big. Also, this cathedral here, it's one of the biggest in whole Europe and one of the highest in the world, which is quite exceptional. The style is Gothic, but the outside has been heavily remade in the 19th century, but the inside still has quite a bit of Gothic style. Let's go have a quick look inside then. It is also called the Laseu, this cathedral here, and it is, you can see really the Gothic style here, the highest, how high really this cathedral is. So how these arches are so high, the windows very nicely decorated and so on, and here you can see the rose window from the inside. It is also quite particular because you don't often have a cathedral that big and not too far from the sea, because actually the sea is just here, so this is quite exceptional as well. And then I just wanted to show you another super interesting building, which is called La Lozia de Palma. It is quite exceptional because usually what we are used to see is the Gothic style for religious building. In this case, this is not a religious building, and you can see a little bit of the outside here, really Gothic, but then inside as well. It is also remain pretty much the same really, but you can see this big room here. So it is not that big actually, but it is used nowadays for expositions or things like that really. but it's really super nice architecture, and this was made actually in the 15th century, so it's a bit it's not that old as the previous buildings that we saw. So last thing I wanted to show you today is the so-called Castell de Belvedera, and the name reminds us immediately of the nice view that you can still have today nowadays from this point here. So you can see that it's effectively quite far away from the actual town center, but you'll see what an amazing view there is from this point. It's really super nice. So here I just wanted to show you a bit of the structure. You have the view here, super nice, with the sea down there, and then the structure. So as you can maybe understand from the structure here how it looks like, it's a pretty old castle. It's also in Gothic style, and it's what exceptional because it dates back to the year 1300, so pretty old. And you have this main structure here with these towers, but then you have an additional tower here. This is called Torre dell'Homenaje, and it seems like this was used as final escape in case of enemies attacks of the main structure of the castle itself. Also, strangely enough, it was originally thought as a summer residence for the kings, but then at the end it was used as a prison. It really looks more like a prison, honestly. And then, but then here you can see really how big really the structure is. So here is super interesting as well. You can walk, as you can see, on this highest part of the, well, highest part, yes, of the main structure of the building. Here you still have this big tower, and here as well you can see the other side of the view, so on the surroundings on the other side, on the hills, on the mountain. So this is really, really nice. And then you have this super nice courtyard, round courtyard in the middle, with these quite Gothic arches. And then I wanted to show you what's inside there. There is a well here, you can see it better. There is a well here in the middle, which was effectively used to collect rainwater, so this was also pretty useful. So last but not least, as always, I'm going to finish up this video with a super nice view from above of the town of Palma de Mallorca, exactly from here. This is really amazing. So you can really see also the amazing color of the water here, and you can also understand a little bit how the center is organized in a way. So here you have the sea, but then you have this artificial lake in a way, which is situated right in front of the cathedral. Then here you have the palace that we saw, the political palace in a way, the cathedral here, and then you have the rest of the center here. You can also see some nice churches in the town center here, and then all the surrounding here. So on the background you will see hills, mountains, and so on. So super nice. And yes, so this is all for today. As always, if you like the video, feel free to put a thumb up. Feel free to subscribe if you want. As always, please leave some feedback on the comments, some suggestions of videos you may would like to see. As always, I'm going to include in the comments a link of a very nice video with super nice viewings of Palma de Mallorca. And yeah, so that's it for today. Thank you again. See you next time. Bye bye.